The local organizing committee of the Diamond Jubilee of St. Victor's Major Seminary is organizing a 2-day program dubbed Alumni Homecoming 2021 as part of the Jubilee celebrations. This program is organized to give opportunity to the alumni of the seminary to interact and also reflect on the role of the alumni in the formation program of the seminary. Theme: 75 years of priestly formation, the perspective and role of the alumni. Guest speaker: Most Reverend Gabriel Edo Kumoji, SVD, Bishop of Keta Akachi Diocese, and an input by Professor Felix Kofi Abagali, the Pro Vice Chancellor of the University for Development Studies, TAMALE. Date: Wednesday 8th September to Friday 10th September 2021. Venue: St. Victor's Main Campus, Malshau. Be part of this historic event. Come one, come all.
kindly be seated, please? Please, let's kindly take up our seat, please. Hello? Please, those who have copies of the program, kindly share it around so that we can begin the program. Kindly share the program so that we can begin. Please, Donovan, Francis is looking for you. If you are around, kindly come forward, please. My Lord Jesus, there's the provincial secretary of Ghana province, Monsignor, the rector, praises of prefect, priest, invited guests, and ladies and both, good morning to you all. My name is Father Abraham Bosu, SPD, and I will be your MC for the morning session. Since we are just coming out of Mass, we are going to begin with prayer. I will kindly invite the rector of the seminary, Monsignor Thomas Anamo, to give us a welcome address. My Lord, President, Paul, the provincial leader of the SDG, all the alumni present from the various dioceses and the side. Our specially invited guests for this function, friends, the seminary, the Victor's family members, and other well-wishers of the seminary. Dear today, the religious and all protocols observed. It is with a warm sentiment of joy and happiness that I stand here to welcome all of you to this first of its kind gathering, homecoming of alumni of St. Victor's Major Seminary. The seminary was established in 1946. In 1971 was the Silver Jubilee. I know in the program, a number of those who were already priests came and participated. In 1986, the seminary celebrated its 40th anniversary. That's our 40th year. Priests came from all over, and we had a celebration. Then the Golden Jubilee was in 1995. Priests in the field came in their numbers also, and we had a celebration. And now we are celebrating 75th anniversary. At the inauguration, a number of priests came, and we are going to close it. Certainly, also a number of priests will come. But looking back, it is like all of these occasions, those who have completed here do come back. You know, so if it is not a celebration of a jubilee, what happens? We do not see them here. And that is why it was a very wonderful idea when the 75th anniversary celebration organizing committee under the leadership of Vice Daniel Strata and his assistant, Mr. Samuel Obuga, all those who are that the local organizing committee came out with this idea to proposal that would invite all those who have completed in the field to come, not to wait maybe when we're closing the jubilee or as they came when we're inaugurating, but to come because we also need to form ourselves into a group. For that is what is now packing up, even among the ladies. For some time now, the seminary has been going out to meet the ladies, to let them know the seminary, where their priests who are serving them are trained. And they have picked it up. They picked it up from associations. And some of them have really instituted days when they come to visit the seminary or do something specifically for the seminary. But for we, the priests in the field, if it is not an occasion like a jubilee, do we have an opportunity where we can come together as alumni of the seminary, as people who have passed through here, to see what is happening and to share ideas, what we went through, and maybe how it is going, what is different, what is stable, what is not stable, what is going well, what is not going well. Do we have something like that? Of course, the priests in the field, people don't have that, they have that concern. But if we come together, maybe the truth is stronger. And so that is why just was proposed that in the course of the celebration of this anniversary, of all Very Reverend Father Koko, Provincial Superior, SC Ghana Province. I'd like to welcome in a very special way as a bishop. We are going to have a speaker who is going to set out the idea of alumni, to we the alumni, SES, and from there how we can take it up. I want to welcome him, Professor Wombe. If you have not yet arrived, welcome his attention. I want to welcome our special guest. As I told you, there are many more people getting interested in the seminary and are linking up to the seminary. And for this occasion, they have sent representatives, the family of Salvation, friends of Salvation, seminary, and other well-wishers. They are all here. I want to say you are all most welcome. As Bishop, for the Mass, it would have been nice if all the houses would have had a common Mass, but we know the reason, the COVID, and our temple is not big enough, so that's why we have the Masses at our individual places. So those of us who are here, who are lucky to have Bishop Kumoli to celebrate the Mass for us. And as the Bishop reflected, he also expressed this joy. You know, how nice it is, you know, to come again and see one another after so long a time, you know. So I think it is really for the a great joy to see one another again. As I'm standing here, there are some among the alumni, when I entered the seminary, they were already free. There were some I met for only 1 year or 2 years. Then some I met for 3 years. But from that year downwards, some of them came and met me. They're all alumni. So it is a great joy that we can meet again before those 2 days. And at the end of it, to see how something like this can happen from time to time and not after every 20 or 25 years. Just like even our day people are giving us an example, finding time to come once a year or something like interact in the seminary. They will also do the same thing. So on that note, I want to say I'm really privileged and especially honored to be director at this time and to welcome you. I'll get this chance again. You are all welcome. God bless you to do now. You are all most welcome.
Thank you so much, Monsignor, for your welcome speech. Please, may we give you a round of applause. We can see the joy in your speech, that you are indeed happy that we have made this time to come back to our own home and reconnect with our roots of formation and the nurturing of our vocation. On this note, I will kindly want to invite Fractor Direct to come and introduce to us chairman of our vocation. Please, may we welcome him with a round of applause.
Our chairman are studied at St. John's Primary School and Bishop Middle School in TAMALE. Then he went to Lower Secondary School, O-level in the Upper West region. Then he did the Advanced Level Workers College in TAMALE. He started working in 1974 as a store manager. In 1985, he started his own private business. During these years, he established 1-7 and Club Ernesto. He is married to Mrs. Esther Konodu with 5 children. He is a member of Knights of St. John and the past Grand President of the Order. He is patron to a lot societies at Ola Cathedral. He's a reader and usher at the Ola Cathedral for past 4 years in Tamale. He is currently the chief of the Asante Mbo citizens living in Tamale. He is the person of Ms. Ernest R.K. Korotu. Is here welcome with a round of applause.
Thank you very much, Mr. Iran. Mr. Chairman, you are most welcome to speak. At least now you have somebody to address. So we kindly invite you for your acceptance speech.
Thank you very much. My Lord Bishop, Reverend Monsignors, and all assembly here. I deem it a great pleasure to occupy this seat. In fact, when my Grand President of the Knights of St. John rang me and told me that the slot has been given to the Knights of St. John to chair the function, and he has appointed me to do that job for him. I thought, thank God, to be in the midst of my fathers, the fathers who are taking care of their flock, to be in their midst and to chair them is something I can never refuse. So I accept it gladly. I'm happy to hear, and I know, being in the midst of fathers, I know that I'm to have a very simple task. It's not going to be some functions I've shared before, where you see some talking about there, some making noise about there, and while they are giving the speech, some are criticizing you. I don't think this is going to be the case. I'm happy that I have taken the chair, and I hope that you all cooperate with me for us to have the best control. Thank you very much.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. We will try not to disappoint you. We will not be making too much money. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, may you kindly permit me to present to you the Speaker of our gathering. Mr. Chairman, our Speaker for this occasion was born on March 24, 1956, in the Ododo constituency in Accra, to Mrs. Severina Tuchoro Kumoji and Leonard David Kumoji, all of blessed memory. He had his primary school at Tamale 2 Primary School and Sacred Heart Primary School in Kole Woko in Accra, and middle school at Mampro 7 at Mamprovi, all in Accra. He had a secondary school education at St. Thomas Secondary School, Presley formation in 1976, when some of us were not yet complete, at the Seminary here in Tamale. He made his first religious profession on September 8, 1980, at St. George's Parish in Koforidua. On 8 September 1984, at Sacred Heart Parish, Deputy Abbot. Ordained priest by the late Most Reverend Dominic Ando, Archbishop and Ecclesiast of Accra, on July 4th, at the Holy Spirit Cathedral, Accra. Sorry for the break. He served as an assistant priest from 1985 to 1989
at St. Augustine Parish at Tetewa and the Eastern Region. He was pastor of St. Maria Goretti Parish at Bator from 1989 to 1991. He went for studies in Loyola University in Chicago, USA from 1991 to 1993, where he obtained Masters in Pastoral Studies and postgraduate certificate in religious formation from St. Louis University, Missouri. On his return to Ghana in 1993, he was appointed prefect of SDB Seminary and lecturer in pastoral theology, homiletics, pastoral counseling, and missiology at St. Victor's Major Seminary here in TAMALE. He again went for studies in Los Angeles from 2001 to 2005, where he acquired master's degree and PhD in intercultural studies from Fuller Theological Seminary in Pasadena, California. On June 22, 2005, he was elected and appointed the Ghana Provincial Superior of the Divine Word Missionaries. On 22 June 2007, he was appointed by the Holy Father Pope Benedict XVI as the Apostolic Prefect of Don Cochrane. Before his appointment as Apostolic Prefect, he was the president of the Conference of Major Superiors of Religious Men in Ghana. On 19 February 2007, he was again appointed Apostolic Vicar of Don Cochrane Apostolic Vicariate with an ecclesiastical character and was ordained bishop on the 19th of April 2007 at Don Cochrane. As member of the Ghana Bishops' Conference, he served as Episcopal Chairman of the Pontifical Missionary Society, Clergy and Religious. He is now the Episcopal Co-Chairman of the Laity Council in Ghana. He is the board chairman of Quality Insurance Company and a board member of the Quality Life Assurance Company. He is the Episcopal Chairman of the Ghana Bishops' Conference Strategic Investment Department and the Chairman of the Finance Committee of the Ghana Bishops' Conference. He is a member of the Governing Council of the Catholic University College of Theatre in Sudan and founding member of the Forum of Ghana Catholic CEOs and Business People. On March 16, 2017, His Holiness Pope Francis appointed him as the second Bishop of Kita Akachi Diocese. Mr. Chairman, I'm glad to present to you Most Reverend Gabriel Edo Kumoji as the Speaker of this August gathering. Along Bishop, the audience, this is your speaker. Thank you.
Thank you. The introduction has frightened me more than anything, and has put a lot of fear into me. I will say again, Mr. Chairman, my Lord Bishops, Provincial Superior, Rector of the Seminary, and then we know also that Rector Emeritus is also here. And so I also recognize him. I recognize my senior priests who are here. I recognize my classmates who are here. I recognize all the priests who are here. I recognize the seminarians, our consecrated men and women who are here with us. Ladies and gentlemen, I said it is a great pleasure for me, and I thank the rector very much and the local organizing committee for asking me to come and join you today and to say some things about the alumni and the development Seminary. I am very grateful. It is a great pleasure, and I thank the organizers for it. I think as the rector enumerated the celebrations, the Ruby Jubilee, Golden Jubilee, and now Diamond Jubilee, I think I have participated, and with this one will be 3 of them. The Ruby Jubilee, we were here like just ordained, and so we joined in '86 to celebrate that. And then now Diamond Jubilee, the Golden Jubilee, I was here as a commentator. And then now Diamond Jubilee, I am here again. And I will be here at the climax. I say, since I graduated from St. Peter's Major Seminary in 1985, this is the first time I have this special occasion to stand and address people at my alma mater. I consider this invitation a privilege and an honor, and I thank you all for that. My task today is very simple, and it's spelled out in the invitation letter as follows. We will be happy to hear, I quote, we will be happy to hear from you as Chief Shepherd and also alumnus of Seminary to the challenges our priests face in the parishes or in their areas of apostolate, the impact of former students in the ministry, and what you think should be emphasized in the formation program and the role the alumni can play to ensure a sustainable and effective formation program in the seminary. I am speaking with the background that I was enrolled here as a seminarian in 1976, went through formation through many hands, and very experienced and exemplary formators till 1985. In fact, when they were talking about ordination, and they mentioned Andor, ordained as Archbishop Andor, of blessed memory, I wanted to add that Cardinal Derrick, servant of God, ordained as deacons here in this hall. And so that time we were 9, and our class was 10, but one was asked to go to his diocese, or his diocese requested they want to have his ordination there. So 9 of us were ordained here, and it was a great time. So I've been praying every time that Cardinal Derrick will be a saint. Then I will say that the saint ordained me. And so I cherish the many years we spent together here. I still have vivid memories of our many activities and the many friends we got, especially here in St. Victor's. In those days, the SBD seminarians lived together with the other seminarians here on this campus. And we did everything together. I was one time the one in charge of energy generator with Gabro and other important people. Then later, I became the chairman or the president of the firewood brigade with my assistant, the noble rector emeritus. He was my assistant. But Kratos, he was our assistant. And then later I became also in the full office with Ayaga, with Tantubo, with Yahweh, and many others. And so before we move from here to our present place of formation. And so we cherish all those days. remember when I came to the seminary, I was first put in Frelimo. And in Frelimo, we were there with Augustine Abasi, David Ayakabu was there. We have the famous Gabriel Sosu, Blaise Zubo, Peter Lare. We were in that, and many others. I can't remember, I can't call all the names. So we were all there. And then we were calling us Frelimo like freedom fighters. And so we were longing to move away from there. And then later I was brought to, I think I was in South Africa. So we have our own names. So I know during my time here too, I cherished the period where we had our Dean of Seminary, Sema. That time, our Honorable, very Reverend Father Paul Bechet, all indications are positive. Apart from the official names which we have for our houses and people, we also point different names for ourselves. I don't want it to happen again. Don't give the committed names here. The joy of the priesthood and the friendly collaboration with the seminarians convinced my superiors that I should go into commission, which was not my choice. But I came to commission for 7 years, and I will say I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. I returned to St. Victor's again, that time coming to Reformation in 1993 as a probator and served till 2001. When I was leaving the seminary, I did not consider myself as an intellectual, therefore saw myself more as a pastoral practitioner. My aspiration was to work in the parish and offer services to the people of God and to welcome seminarians to give them the opportunity to put into practice what they learned from the seminary. I spent in the seminary as a probator was one of the best periods in my life as priest. I have served my alma mater. What about you? What about you? And so to look at Alumni, I have to do some research. And Alumnus refer to a former student of a college or a university who either attended or graduated in some fashion from the institution. The word alumni is masculine with O. And alumina is feminine. And then alumni is plural. Who we have also alumni who are not ordained, who have attended the seminary. And so the stretch of the word will also mean people not necessarily ordained, but the people, so now Pontiff is here. We have the term sometimes is used to refer to a former employee, the alumni, those who worked in the seminary before, or members of organizations or a contributor to an institution can also be coopted as alumni. And so you don't need to come and pass through here for studies, but anyone who has taught here can also be included among the alumni, according to the definition. So it will be our decision to make whether we should include them. And those who have had the seminary in various ways can be given an honorary alumni status, like what Mr. Ernest and all the groups which say they are, which have been helping the seminary. Alumni events kept alumni connected to their school and each other. So there is this association of meeting one another. The term alumni also is connected with alma mater. So alma mater, which is a an allegorical Latin phrase currently used to mean bountiful mother or nourishing mother, used by people to refer to the school or university from which one formally attended or they graduated. So I would like you to see this thread. A person can attend, may not graduate. But there are others who attend and graduate. They are all alumni. They are part of it, and the school can be called their alma mater. Second, the school, university, or college where a person was educated can also be. And we see in Ghana, many of our secondary schools have organized this alumni, and we don't hear much of the universities, but the universities are coming up with it. So the alumni has become a very important organ of reunion, of coming together. And many of them who have many numbers are even having classes, alumni classes, different years. So year 1985, groups can decide to do something for their alma mater. Other groups, alumni group of a particular year can also decide to do something for their school. And so these are the ways which you have. Then when it is so big, like this, our alumni from St. Victor's all over the country, they have what we call chapters, alumni chapters. So chapters, let's say in the South, chapters of alumni who are outside, and all those can also be organized in different ways. And I was trying to find out where has it come out from at all. The Alumni Association was traced to its roots in September 26, 1840, when the graduates of Marshall College in Pennsylvania in the U.S. first organized themselves. While the early history seems to be very big, the Alumni Association is generally very effective at that time. The Alumni Association of that era served mainly as an intellectual society for the graduates, who each year designated one of their members as orators and listened to his remarks on some current issues of philosophical problems at the annual meeting. So as an intellectual organization, the person presented a paper and they tried to critique it. So that is how they started. The association should aim at one, to keep alive the sentiments of affection of the alumni for their alma mater, to keep alive. Two, to unite the graduates of the successive years in common time of fellowship, sustaining and giving expression to the interest in the alumni to have the welfare of their former school or the seminary. Then I look again at the objective. Alumni, what are we supposed to do? Alumni, one, to promote a sustained sense of belonging to the alma mater among the alumni by being in regular contact with them. Be in regular contact. So that our love and our vision and our affection, things which happen here, will still be fresh in us. Two, to encourage, foster, and promote close relations among the alumni themselves. To foster that. Three, to provide and disseminate information regarding the alma mater, its graduates, faculties, and students to the alumni. So it is also a time when the alma mater will link us with information of things happening. Four, to keep the roster of all alumni of the seminary and their pertinent data, maintaining the updated and current information of all alumni. So they have a roster and they know where all our from the field to the institution in order to enhance the development of curriculum and the process of teaching and formation in the seminary. So to also give feedback, what can we do? What can we also improve? 7, to provide the opportunity for the alumni to network, to create a link for sharing pastoral experiences with one another. So in a way, by sharing pastoral experiences, we encourage the lazy pastors not to be lazy again. So the good practice of ministry is shared with all. 8, to advise and encourage the current students to make use of their time in the institution profitable. So become mentors for the present seminarians and to advise them how to prepare themselves to meet the challenges of the world. So what are the roles of the Illuminati? Coming back again apart from the objective. One of the main purposes of Alumni Association is to support a network of former college graduates who will in turn help to raise the profile of the seminary. So to become the ones who will advertise the seminary, raise the profile of the seminary. Just like most other university students' organizations, Alumni Association aim to bring together the like-minded individuals. Large and powerful alumni associations assist their school in recruiting new students, offer potential students scholarships, develop mentoring relationship with the student body, and often support research and expansion through philanthropic gifts. Alumni associations are critical to the support of the school. So your support is very, very critical. An active alumni association can encourage greater collection of funds, enabling the establishment of scholarships, supporting students' activities, cultural programs, clubs, association expeditions, assisting in establishing of infrastructure and support innovative improvements at the seminary. So the alumni, we have a big task, something we have to do. Then in my address also they asked, what are some of the challenges in the first chapter? I am going to give something which I have seen and read. And I would like also in the questions and other things you can feed it. The formation in the set to gather them together and guide them. I will set shepherds over them, my sheep, who will care for them, and they shall fear no more, nor be dismayed. Quoted from Pastor's Davo Bobby, and it's also referring to Jeremiah 23:4. The formation, we know, have 4 pillars: human formation, spiritual formation, intellectual formation, and pastoral formation. These are to give the priest, in the modern day, all-round and integral formation. The person who opens himself to what is offered in the seminary will not necessarily have answers to all the questions in the pastoral field, but will learn how to handle his frustrations and disappointments in a very healthy way. A priest is respected and honored in our society because of what he represents. He is a man of God. Sometimes they will say a holy person, a person of truth, reliable person, and dedicated person. The priest has the honor of changing bread and wine into the body and blood of Christ, as well as to help others understand the word of God, solve their spiritual and psychological problems, and help people find meaning in their lives. These accolades of a priest are gradually fading. Now, respect does not come automatically to a priest, but must be earned. You must deserve it. One of the challenges that face a priest today is to be true men of the church and faithful ministers of the word. The faithfulness to the church and conscience implies a certain tension in the life of the priest. He lives like a stranger in his world. So the questions which he comes to his mind sometimes, do I maintain the teaching of the church or follow society? What people are saying and people are doing. It will be argued that the satisfaction of a priest is best understood as a religious and emotional, in spite of the challenges he faces on a daily basis. One of the things identified for being true, the priest is alone and lonely. The life of a priest, of course, has never been easy. It has required living as a celibate, forgoing the consolation of marriage and family life, not being paid for the work one does, especially even after studying and having your master's or PhD degree, and practicing a demanding form of evangelical obedience. They don't receive any salary. You are supported. And apart from all that, the priest is never hungry. As one said, he has not seen or heard of priest who died of hunger before. Rather, what you can accuse a priest of is maybe eating too much. Because if you see their stomachs now, you are appreciating it. And some of them will call that stomach a cathedral. So who sits on that cathedral? So they are never hungry. The priest is struggling to handle his holy loneliness. So the loneliness is part of the priesthood. And that's why the church is making efforts every day so that we can live in the community and share together in the community. And so some of them, to solve this loneliness, they will turn to other things. Get some Natalines. Get people to help them in the house. Side chicks. Or you will see some go into the bottle. Some also take some addictive method by television and many things in order to get rid of the loneliness. Over the last few years, however, the difficulties have increased, and especially which helps explain why there is a great dissatisfaction among the ranks and files of priests. We have all been painted with the same brush of the few But that also means whatever happens, especially with the media landscape, whatever happens, any part of the country with one priest is heard everywhere, and it affects all of us. The priest must know that he bears the image of all the priests in the world. The second point I want to bring out is the priest is not the only learned person in the parish. For centuries, priests were the most learned of men. The vast majority of lay people lack even rudimentary education, and priests were therefore generally respected for their understanding of matters both secular and sacred. So we knew that the priest in the parish became the lawyer, the doctor, the advisor, and everything. And they enjoyed the special status among believers. One of our formators said, the pulpit should be higher than the pews. We are so that makes us even very stubborn to accept some of the suggestions of the people we work with, or to listen to them. Know that some of them are qualified, if not like us, maybe sometimes more than us. Those who function well in our situations, our parishes, are those who are humble, respectful to the people they survive. They serve, and ready to listen to them. So don't think that they are ignorant. Don't think that they don't know. Even now, before you even go to check, they have read the scriptures and they have analyzed it, and there are many avenues of different biblical reflections, and they have read all of them before they come to sit in the church. So when you speak, they analyze it and find out whether you are prepared or not prepared, whether you are speaking authentic things or you are speaking fallacy. And so they are very critical, and we shouldn't take them for granted. As the people become more educated, clerics maintain their status, but the lay people become less dependent on clerical judgment or on secular matters. Over time, as more and more people graduated from polytechnics, universities, and many acquired academic certificates through the distance learning, people's intellectual independence grew, even in matters of religion, religious judgment, and beliefs. Although priests were still responsible for providing spiritual guidance, their spiritual guidance was less valued by many people. The spiritual guidance is gold to many. They challenge our stance on some issues. So many are becoming more defensive in ministry. Many priests are becoming defensive because you know that there are people in the parish who will not say yes, but. And so you become a bit angry and defensive. So even when they are genuinely going to ask you for explanation of anything, you already start fighting. So this is some of the situations in our station. So then we come to a point where we are asking, where is the solid pillar of faith, which we knew before? Very clearly defined, where are they? It becomes also a challenge. Intellectual independence is spreading in our society now more than before in matters of secular and sacred things. There are several reasons for this development. One is the popular theological turmoil that is emerging from Pentecostalism and charismatic denominations. Pastors are resorting to private revelations, and unfortunately, many Catholic priests are also imitating that. This state of affairs is creating anxiety for priests and confusion among theologians and the congregation. We are asking, what is the church teaching on this issue? Or what is the church saying on this social issue in the country? And so, some priests are moving out of the fold to be politically correct and raising their voices on issues they have little knowledge about. These are only to satisfy, not hurt the people. This attitude of individual revelations is also affecting the liturgical practice of the church. People have become liturgists in their own way, formulating prayers, changing the liturgy in various ways in the church. And on a more serious note, intellectual, let me finish this one. You see that people liturgical now, we have heard many things of anointing. And then some are calling non-sacramental oils. Non-sacramental oil is the oil which they bless themselves. And they anoint every week. All the members of the church, whether you are a Christian or you are not a Christian. So some of the non-Christians will come to the church for anointing. And some also were doing the non-sacramental oil, the old oils, which were blessed last year by a bishop. They will mix all of them together. Oil of the sick, oil of the captivity, and the crimson. And then they will buy the olive oil and pop them. So they become more. And that's the non-sacramental. Then they will be anointing. And they anoint everywhere. If you say your neck, you will anoint your stomach, you will anoint your stomach. You have a backache, you will anoint. We don't know, I don't want to mention it. And they are formulating different types of liturgies. And even sometimes, even the liturgical preaching, there are different styles now. And when you see it beginning, you are wondering whether it's a Catholic church. Because the gymnastics and the things that is prevailing in it, you are shocked. And so at the point we were asking in some of the places, is it coming from the seminary? Are these things coming from the seminary? But many times when they leave the seminary, they think now I'm free. And then we can do anything. I would like us to watch this procreation and then also casting out demons by the priest during liturgy, exorcism, and things. And you should know the rules also about that. And so please, we are taking and then we are asking, where is the pillar of faith? Like every one of our priests will say that he sees vision. The husband you have is not the right person. Change him, sack him. The woman should sack the husband. So the woman said, Father, you can come and tell my husband for me to sack my husband. You see, we are imitating the tele-evangelists we are looking at. So you see, many are imitating with their voice. Like a Duncan Williams voice. T.B. Joshua's voice. And all those things. And I asked them, you spent 8 to 9 years in the seminary to become a Christian. You are imitating somebody who went to Bible school for 3 months. What type of professor is that? And even if he goes continuously 6 months, and you are imitating him, he should rather imitate you. because of insecurity and thinking that you have no the private revelation. What I see and what I think is what I do. On more serious note, intellectual resistance to church teaching is increasing. When even we hear of church leaders challenge instructions of the Holy Father, the Dubia, and the Bishop Conference will even issue a counter statement against teachings of the Congregation of the Doctrine of Faith. So we are seeing this emergence of divergence coming in. Then another aspect which we face in the parishes, the challenges, is the philosophy of relativism, subjectivity, and utilitarianism, which is coming in. So we talk about gospel, prosperity gospel, is also entering, it's in the 60s, we hear the humanist psychology of Carl Rogers and Abraham Maslow, teachings which swept over the Western society and Europe, is now affecting Ghana and probably the whole Africa. The teachings led to undermine the teachings of the Catholic Church and also major claims that the truth were some of the things which came out of that. The truth and reality are not discovered through faith or reason, but created by individuals. So that whatever they believe to be true and real is true and real whatever. This made individual opinions infallible and analysis debated, and the search for truth seems pointless. Again, that morality is not objective and impersonal, but subjective and personal. In other words, whatever a person believes to be morally right or wrong is morally right or wrong. This challenge the traditional idea of sin and repentance, and by extension, crime and punishment. It also obviates the sacrament of confession. Because I don't see anything wrong with that. With my action, I don't see anything wrong with it. So nobody can correct you. Somebody is doing something and you want to say, I don't see anything wrong with it. This is your problem. The emotion, again, they continue, that same teaching goes on. They say emotion is more reliable than reason. Your gut feeling is more reliable than reason. This challenged the traditional idea that emotion tends to be impetuous and capricious. It therefore discouraged thinking about obligation to others and moral ideals, as well as considering possible consequences before taking action. It also trivialized virtue and its practice. What is virtue? That all forms of sexual expression are natural and wholesome. This challenge the sixth and ninth commandments, and of all the classifications of sexual sins enumerated in the Catholic Catechism and other Christian manuals. So sexual life is okay. That self-actualization is the greatest human need. And self-esteem is the key to achievement. These ideas dramatically change the focus on from self-denial to self-indulgence, self-examination to self-congratulation, self-criticism to self-acceptance, self-effacement to self-assertion, and self-transcendence to self-absorption. They flatter egos, glorify the self, made a virtue of mental strength in many of our situations, our parishes. So humanist psychology rose to prominence. I know there's a psychologist here who is also listening carefully. Prominence in intellectual circles, but now it is being celebrated in our media and internet. Thus, the pornographic, dating sites, and many, many things which we have been watching quietly in our rooms. These are official prostitution sites. There are official prostitution sites and homosexual links. Recently, I heard one they call a channel called Pillar. I think the Pillar is just Pillar. It's a homosexual site. And if you enter there, the people are linking you. Afterwards, they were exposed to. They have also, where I learned recently, hookah. The official prostitution site in Ghana, hookah. And the prostitutes in Ghana change their name to slave queens. And they are from association. They are the prostitute chairman. And so, please know that if you hide in the secret of your room and you link to these sites, you are being watched. And you know, they can easily get you. And they can easily tell you where you are watching it. It is not private. It is a public event. So you can't hide. Please don't go there. Otherwise, you will tarnish your high end. I will say the name you have earned. Destroyed in no time. And not only you, the media is ready to publish. Some of our people are also moving into the utilitarian spirituality. They are inventing or reinventing para-sacramental, which they say the people like. They are partially based on our liturgy and sometimes traditional religious practices. And then also they invent many things which are introducing, they say, in the name of incorporation. Please, we say if you have an incorporation, the spirit of incorporation or the gift of incorporation, the church says refer it to the legitimate authority before you start practicing. It's not private. Now I would like to go also modernity in ministry. The discovery of mass media, the internet, are good things that have happened to the modern day. However, this has created a mass culture that revile and what traditional culture honors, and honors what traditional culture reviles. Priests, themselves being human, were vulnerable to the lure of these ideas, particularly to the missing something temptation. They come that you are missing something. And so we believe that the missing something temptation, you wouldn't know if you are missing something wonderful unless you try it. That's how they put it. You are missing something. So you don't know that you have missed it until I try it. For some, the it was homosexuality or lesbianism, relationships. For others, heterosexual violations of celibacy. For virtually all, elevating the authority of self. For an authoritative analysis of the temptation of humanists on religious orders and other things. This was also mentioned by Becker, S.J., in a book called Reform Jesus, the Missing. So Many priests are not spending time with their parishioners anymore because of this internet and other things. Even many or some are not going to use the outstations because there are no network there. And when they go, they don't have quality time to stand and speak to one another looking at the face. We go escape into the net. We have our phone and we are checking WhatsApps and talking, and then nowadays we have something we put in our ears. So while the person is talking to you, you are listening to that. Some when they go, they run back fast because Chelsea is playing. So they go to the church, to the house station just in time for mass. Then immediately jump on their motor or their car and return to the main station. So there is no quality time for our people anymore. There is less and less interaction with our parishioners. And even in my diocese, the laity petitioned me on that issue, that we are not having time for our priests anymore. They come, fast, say mass, and they leave. Someday they say we understand, because they will come and go to another station and another station. But what about the weekdays? We don't see them. We cannot talk with them. We don't have time of interaction. They just go to the altar, say the mass, fast, and always say Eucharistic prayer. And then they involve. The time the people will say the concluding prayers and things, takes out in the car and go, and they know that he's going to do some good pastoral work. But in reality, the parish was didn't come home. So there is a need now, a challenge for us, priests, to even have more quality time with our people. And then I was also talking to some of my deacons. So when they have pastoral year, they live in one of the villages for some time, work around with the people. Then immediately they were ordained and put to the same parish. That station they will never sit there. So why? You were interacting with them, you go there, you can sit with them and have all those. That time you can't say mass. But now you go only to say mass and run away. That's not correct. But this is the modern time we are seeing. The modern priesthood, which even is converting the old priests also to do the same. The young ones are converting the old priests. So it is really why sometimes they will say we are losing people. Because some of them don't understand why you do this, what are these, and some of the questions they face. They want to talk to Father, but they have no opportunity to talk to Father. Find time and have every time, maybe once a month, town hall meeting with your parishioners. Then the morning time also, I see another problem, challenge that face us in the craze for work. Craze for work. On my way coming, I heard this Obofo, one of these television speakers or pastors, had his birthday and he displayed the medicals he had. The medicals were displayed. You see it as subtle, but it is gradually affecting some of our people in our church. In the name of self-reliance, there is a great temptation for some of the priests to be attracted to the world. There are many betting, shops now. You see betting. And now you don't need to go to the shop, you can bet from your phone. When football is being played, so people want to bet. that temptation is coming to our. I haven't heard any of the priests doing that, but it's not far from that. Some are following these scams, where the internet will say, I have some money for you. And my husband died and left 30 million, and I saw your name, and I think, and you are happy, and you start going in. And you sell the whole parish, and you won't get anything from it. There is this craze also to have a beautiful car matching the modern society. So you just come out from the seminary, you are looking for a beautiful car, even better than the old ones who were there. I don't know which one is now the modern one, but I saw in some places where you have like a Prado, you have a RAV4, the modern type, and things like that. And I shared with some people, we had an old Benz in our place, and one of my priests came from States, and he said he wants to buy the Benz. I said, you buy the Benz for what? He said he wants to use it. And I said, no. The Benz was left for the guys. I said, no. Where I am sending you, if you go in the Benz, how do you encourage the people to contribute in the church? You are not going to use Benz. Although an old Benz is cheap, but the image it gives is different. Or a person comes to the parish with BMW, and then you stand in the church and say they have to contribute for the roof of the church. You know that. The amount you are using for the BMW, servicing it, use it to build the roof. So also our status, the things we own, also help the parish to be supportive and to be able to help. The things also we show, where you show that simplicity with the things around you. Maybe it may be expensive, but the way the simplicity you show can encourage the others also to imitate you. Money and material things have taken the central stage of our spirituality. They want the latest start. They continue to harass the congregation with many appeals, corrections, 4 corrections for the Sunday, and an appeal for fun. We should consider the people in the people. They are happy as anybody in the country. We must not feel that they have it. Many of them are struggling, like that old lady with the penny in the gospel, coming to church. After dropping the penny, if Jesus had asked for second collection, and then you get a third collection, then they will call for appeal. How will he do? We must feel for the church and the people we are in. Now, what can the seminary do? I come to suggestions to the seminary. So, Mr. Chairman, now I want to look at the rector, and Rector Emeritus is still there, and the staff. So I would like to congratulate the seminary staff for their sacrifice to serve the church in the formation ministry. Being in formation is being under formation. So you are not only forming the seminarians, but you yourself also have to act like a seminarian. We are grateful for your sacrifice. I will request all the alumni to give the formators their utmost support by helping the seminarians who come to them in their parishes, not to denigrate the formators, but continue to the formation which they are receiving. We are forming for the church, not only for the diocese. So in fact, in my notes, I was trying say we can also start and give a hand clap for the commentators here. We thank them for the work they are doing. I also like to congratulate the commentators living close and with the seminarians. I believe that formation is observation. Otherwise, you will rely only on gossip to recommend the seminarians for ordination. Live with them, work with them, love them. The seminarians has rights too, but the rights of the church supersedes. For the benefit of the doubt, you give to the church. Third, please continue the course of Christian message, which gives foundation to the theological formation of the seminary. In many of our parishes, our dioceses and our parishes, there is no proper catechism. Unless that is improved, don't presuppose anything. Otherwise, the vocation we are nurturing will be based on lack of faith. During the seminary Ruby Jubilee, I remember Archbishop Emeritus Gregory Kebaya said, the priest must first be a Christian. That means there are some priests who are still babies. And so I encourage that this Christian message course must continue to strengthen our catechism program in our seminary. 4, the formation should help the seminarians to be researchers than only reproducers, where they will receive from the lecturers and just produce it. In the academic formation, there should be a shift from the lecturer doing all the work and giving it to the seminarians, that to the seminarians doing all the work and presenting with their friends to the formators to guide us. So the shift is, now that means we will have to furnish our libraries. We have to get, and the library doesn't have to be only the books there. We have an internet connectivity so that the students can do a research and search on themselves and know how to go about it, but like spoon feeding them. You know, they come to the parishes and they are still spoon, they want to spoon fed. So sometimes I tell some of them, you are no more a seminarian, act as a priest. They are forgotten, they think they are still in the seminary. 5, I applaud the allocation of students in teams to work in offices. How you put the people together to work in offices. I applaud that. And as I said at the beginning, I was in the fire, at first I was in the electricity house, that time we use generators. So if you are not strong, you can't wind with the generator. This morning time you have a factory to start. Our time we have no battery. So that road you can imagine that. And then you have climate company. You see the advantage. He also will wind the thing. And then I was also in the place. So they were selected. Special selection. So not everyone can do that. So it's a special office. And then from there, I went also to Firewood Brigade. And also special selection. We have Bonaventure there. We have Emeritus also there. We have Timothy, a council. We all form a team. And we work in the Firewood Brigade. Then we go to the kitchen. I was with Ayariga, Kantubo, Yahweh, and all of them, the late Yahweh, and all of them, we work as a team. And I think this process in the seminary must continue, working as a team in the offices. I would like the seminary to stress teamwork. teach and train them for that teamwork. Many are trying to work alone in competition with their fellow priests in the parishes. There is no healthy ministry in the Catholic Church without a teamwork. Many of our parishes are suffering from that lack of teamwork, fighting one another, competing with one another, trying to surpass or to overcome one another. It is not happening. So please, I would like the seminary to again stress that teamwork and not just put them together, but let them also reflect on it, even workshops on how to work in the team. 6. This seminary is noted for the stress on pastoral practice of all seminaries, where they were all allotted to different places. In those days, we had bicycles, and I know that some of the bicycles are 2 people each. And we have to go for apostolate to all the secondary schools, the villages, institutions all around. And so the seminary was known very much for this practice. Sundays we are distributed to different places to us. This made many effective, they are very effective in our dioceses and in the missions. Even those who have gone outside the country, they were known who passed through St. Peter's for pastoral work because we learned it here. Please don't compromise on this formation, this type of formation. And add to it, planning, pastoral planning, coordination, and supervision. Very important. Give the seminarians opportunity to reflect on their pastoral practice. Very important. 7. Give to the seminarians special training in youth and family ministry. Even I will add inter-religious dialogue, because the Boniface is looking at my face. So inter-religious dialogue. Although many of the priests are youth, but they find it difficult to minister with the youth and children in the church. In many places, there are rifts between the youth, young priests, and the youth. So what do we do? And that's why we can say some of the youth are leaving us, because we don't know how to work with them. So I will ask the seminary to include these special ministries, very, very important, and especially for our youth. Our youth are finishing, and because we have to bring them back. 8. I would like the seminary to introduce media evangelization, if not being already done. That the seminarians will learn to use the internet to evangelize. For example, Twitter, Facebook, WhatsApp, and so like this event can be telecast live. Our students should learn that. I'm sure somebody is doing it, and so our students should learn it, so that they can do it easily. The seminary should have a dynamic web page that we can access easily as alumni. In conclusion, I would like to ask all brothers, the alumni, to give our utmost support to our alma mater and its project, and the formation of the Alumni Association. Let us bring in our brothers who were here with us and are not ordained priests. They are also part of the alumni. How can we bring them in? They are also part of us. They will be the greatest asset to the seminary. We want avenues where we can channel our feedback also to our and disseminate information to all alumni. And on this note, I would like to thank all of you again and say, God bless you all.
Thank you, Pastor. Thank you very much. I think you agree with me that the pedigree goes with the speech perfectly. Thank you. But I would like to invite on this note the chairman to give us.
Thank you, Andy. My Lord Bishop, Rector of the Seminary and all people family. We have heard a lot from my Lord Bishop Modi. He has actually delved into things that has happened in the seminary before, things that should happen, and things we would like to happen in the seminary. It is good to know that we have to form an alumni in this school, St. Victor's. I remember very well that some 30, 35 years ago, when I was invited to come here to interact with the seminarians and to bring some grain for an occasion, right from, what do you call it? Right from, I will call it, TAMALE or Polytechnic Junction. You only meet bush throughout. There were no buildings. So right from there, you drive through the thick bush and then come here. And then when you reach here, you see nice buildings. Very, very good buildings, you know, right in the middle of the forest. So anytime we came here, we saw a nice building, but now you look around, what do you see? Our buildings are just anything. And coming to this place, what do you see now? Very nice buildings springing up. The civilians are putting up their place where we, the priests, we don't care about what our school is like. That is why there is a need to form this alumni. Please, don't say that because you are a priest, you don't have the money. You are trained to go outside to the parishes. It is the parishioners who will give you the money to come and support your school. Don't ask for the money and use it for something else. There are parishioners, if you genuinely ask that you want to do this, because this is something that is difficult, they will willingly help you to do it. So let's try and govern on this and bring the people to help us to put up our school well. There used to be a common saying at, what do you call it, Ola Cathedral. When the students are in the seminary, they are so obedient, they are so, like they do everything we tell them to do. Even in some stages, they even help us to sweep the cathedral. But as soon as the person is ordained, lunch is okay. So lunch is okay became a praise in cathedral. As soon as the person is ordained, no, after this we see you go to him, now that he's no more a seminarian, he wouldn't mind you. That is a student idea. And make sure that we still impose to become seminarians when we are priests, so that we can help our school. So until we are able to keep our groups together, looking at other secondary schools, it is the alma mater who have been helping them to make sure that their buildings are okay. I know I'm a pioneer of Laura Secondary School. They celebrated their 50th anniversary a few years back. I was in Seminary here, they wrote and told me that you are paying this amount because you attended this school. They didn't know the money I had in my pocket. But somebody in Laura sat there and wrote to me that I should pay. And I started to pay. That is belonging. So my dear priest, don't say because you don't earn salary, you can't help your school. I don't think so. Because anybody seeing a priest in the car knows that the person has got money. Probably forgetting that it was somebody who gave the car to do his pastoral work. That is why I'm saying that if you ask them to build, to help renovate the buildings in this school, I'm glad for that they will do it. In doing that, I think we have to foster close relationship with ourselves. As soon as we are ordained, we sort of separate. Now if you look, we have groups on the on the WhatsApp. We have here groups who communicate with themselves and they try to help in whatever way to help their school and other places, even to help themselves. That was an opportunity. That was a chance I had to go to Accra to do something. And when I got there, I didn't know the person in the office. But apparently, he knew me because somebody in my yearbook had told him that I was coming there to do something. As soon as I read, the officer got up and greeted me. Like, oh, senior, how are you? I thought there was somebody behind me. Not knowing he was addressing me. Knowing that was no person was moving around, I responded, oh, I know you are this and this and this and this, and this man introduced you and mentioned your name to me, so I knew you were coming. You see, if we try to do that sort of thing, it will help us, to earn ourselves the more, to make sure that it will make sure that we can, we can collect more money. I am more in particular about the renovation of this school. But when I see the building, I don't feel like it at all. So I would like the priest to help us to do that. I think we all heard our speaker and the 8 points he gave in his conclusion mark. Please, if we are able to implement this, I think it will go a long way to help St. Victor's. And I pray that the promoters who have sacrificed a lot, both the new and the old ones, who have sacrificed a lot for the church, we continue to pray for them, and they'll continue to do what they are doing, and they'll put the 8 points into place. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much. And at this point, I will kindly like to invite the fundraising committee up here for the half a word for us. Fundraising committee, please hand it up forward. Fundraising committee, please, if you are around, kindly come forward. Please, may we welcome him to come around the hall.
Mr. Chairman, my Lord Speaker, I had something to say more than I was already saying. You think I don't know how to talk money? I'm just a convener, and our members are here. Madam Leticia, another,
Alumni, Mr. Matthew, and then Mr. Gordon. We will just wait here while Mr. Gordon will talk to us the reason for which we are here to appeal to you in the next few minutes. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, I love you, sir. Okay. Our seminarians, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Good morning. So we come in peace. Yesterday when I was giving this task to speak for only 5 minutes, I first of all prayed. After praying, I started writing. Wrote and cancelled. I'm like, no, you come. When God sends you on a mission, come. Full free, it is you. So I didn't come with what I wrote. Because I have a great friends, and I know if I err, you forgive me. Very Reverend Father is here. So we come in peace. Like I said, our main reason for coming here is to raise funds, but also to passionately speak with our friends, the alumni. They are the reason why we are here. They are our friends. Anytime you send us to go, we are here this morning. The 75th celebration of St. Peter has a major need. I'm sure today at this program would have loved that all of us seated in a hall, seated outside. If it's rain, I'm sure those outside will look for shade. And so, in the wisdom of the planning committee, we have decided to have a multi-purpose hall. Many will agree with me that such state, even in our parishes, collections are beginning to dwindle. And so the parish where they have decided to have an relating venture to support us. The seminary used to get a lot of funds. Unfortunately, not anymore. And so the need for this project. Before we can succeed in this project, the alumni, our praise must take the lead so we help you. It is your project. I went to TAMALE. We are also celebrating 70 years. And almost every package set by the old students. Because we must build the school. And so we know we want to see this school progress, sustain, and grow. Our worry is that a lot is said at the parishes. We know various needs. Harvest is at the corner, a lot of projects at the corner. We need to see the place in order. But we want this project to be paramount order because it's a one-off project. And so when the priest speak about the project in the parishes, when the priest owns the project, because anytime you involve yourself in any project, I mean, you are ordained by Christ himself. One Father Pastor in my parish says that we are going to put it happens. So we are saying that please own it. Don't leave it to speak about it. Help us raise the funds. It's not easy these days. The same way you call us at the parishes and say, let's raise funds to build this. This is for all of us. I'm a Catholic, a proud one at that. I want to see St. Victor's grow. This project to raise St. Victor's tonight is to raise funds for St. Victor's. And so I'm putting myself 100% in it. And I'm pleading that our faith, wherever you find yourself, please own the project, and let's do it together. So we are saying that I am going to contribute, want the priest to also contribute to this project. And so respectfully, we are leaving our praise. We know you are not workers, but us. Like I always call you at the cathedral and give you an envelope. I'll say thank you, and I'll definitely come back. Thank you. I'll definitely come back with the envelope. So we are leaving you a minimum amount each. Hello? Hello? So we are saying that all the priests who are privileged to live in the town parishes, we are leaving you a minimum only 2,000 Ghana cedis. Only. And those who find themselves far away from town, only 1,000 cedis. Now we are going to go further and help you to raise this money. We have designed very beautiful envelopes for our priests. So that's what I'm saying. Even though I'm not at Peter and Paul, that's where I was groomed by Father Matthew. If Father Gerald calls me and says, Godwin, I have an envelope for you, I cannot say no. I'll pick it and return it. So we are helping you with envelopes to give to specific parishioners. You know very soon you are all going to have harvest. Let's for once put this project first. And I believe if our priests put this project first, by the grace of the Almighty God, we will realize our target. So far we have raised less than 30,000. And we have invested over 100,000 because the crops are outside. So we are actually running in deficit. And we need you to help us. As I speak to you, we are putting the envelopes together. Please, if you have any question in 3 minutes, you can ask for clarification. We'll be coming to the various parishes to talk to parishioners. We'll be going to various dioceses to talk to members there. We have a rich school that has produced a lot of people in and outside Ghana. We are reaching out to those outside the country to also contribute their faith. And that is why we are here this morning. They smile at us. And please collect this envelope. So a quick addition. The priests who couldn't make it here will make sure the envelope gets to them. So their representatives, please pick the envelopes and get it to them. We are saying that those who can raise more than the minimum amount, please feel free to do so. And if you are not able to get that amount, please, whatever you raise, let us have it. It's not cast in stone. We know some can raise more, some can get a bit less. Whatever you raise, please let the committee have it. And we'll be glad and God will bless you. This beautiful cloth is for the celebration. It's for all of us. Very quality. A yard is only 25 Ghana cedis. So for a man's shirt, you need just 2 yards to fit it. We have cut a lot of 2 yards outside for those who want to buy now. If you want to buy more than 2 yards, there's enough to serve you, but a yard is 25 cedis. So whichever yards you want to buy, just multiply that by 25 cedis. Please let it go around. Feel it. It's very, very qualitative. It befits St. Victor's Major Seminary. Please, if anyone wants any clarification quickly, and you are saying every priest who has passed through St. Victor's, please help us achieve this. It's like an old school thing. Let's take it personal. God bless you. Hello. Yes. Yes, please. You have a Momo number. Grandma will share it with us before we leave. Yes.
My question for clarification is that
committee, you have made a budget. It would have been nice for us to know what you are targeting. If it is less, we may help you to do it much better. Because if the 2,000 is just a minimum contribution, more than likely we may all be targeting the 2,000. In the meantime, your budget will be higher than when you collect all the 2,000 together. It will be nice for us to know how much is added. Then we could also support with the idea. That is my clarification.
Thank you very much, Father. The next question.
You mentioned parishes, those in remote and those established. How about those who are working institutions and working with seminarians and they cannot appeal to their community?
So, as the Guru has said, I will continue to his question. I will say that it is not to appeal to those you are working with, but people know you.
Thank you, Father. That was a nice one.
That's not the answer.
Any other way we can respond? Yes. Father, we take two more. We can have a conversation outside here because we have this 15 minutes. So two more and we'll leave.
Regarding the project, did I hear a multi-purpose hall?
Yes, Father.
But I'm just wondering whether that is the most pressing need now for the seminary, considering the chairman's remarks about the buildings falling apart and all that. So I was thinking maybe that's what the seminary thinks we should apply our efforts to right now. Well, but we are just beginning, and we are jumping to that height. But maybe it's good. People like something concrete and something that will attract more support. Otherwise, I would just wondering. But we rely on the wisdom of the seminary and then the committee. But we have a platform, so I think we can enhance it and share. And as the fundraising goes or proceeds, then we will see the effort. When we see people are also encouraged, as somebody mentioned, budgets. So that's just my thinking. Right?
I'm a bit confused as to the modality of collecting these money. You mentioned those in urban parishes and those in rural parishes. I don't know what that means. Secondly, I would have thought that all alumni would have been asked to pay a certain amount. Then after that, you move to the parishes and explain to us what you mean those in urban parishes and those in rural parishes, what we can also contribute from our parishes. Meaning one leg is in the town, and then about half a leg is in the town, and the 1.5 legs in the rural area, so where they belong. So I want crystal clear charges, and I would expect every alumni to contribute something. Then also those of us working in the parishes to use that position to appeal for funds for the seminary. I don't know what I'm clear.
Yes, Father, you are. Thank you. So, Father, we start from you, and I'll attempt to answer Father Isupe Brahmati's here. So, starting with brilliant submission, I think you have given us an insight on what you can do more apart from what you are suggesting to do. So, we'll take it from there. But to define urban and non-urban parishes, so let's say Olakatida Parish in TAMALE is an urban parish. Jamboy is not an urban parish. That is our definition. If maybe you want to modify it, but the bigger parishes against the small parishes. Father, I don't know how to put it, but especially at 75, we are not starting. In fact, we are very old. We have gone on retirement for 15 years now. And so we think it is time to get something substantial to support the seminary. Because if we have that, that will be raise funds to work on broken pipes and a lot of things there, because we don't have that regular income that is coming to the seminary like we used to. I just realized that even on the veranda, the ceiling is about to fall, so it's not a safe place to walk freely. So that is the idea. It's just something that will generate funds to sustain the seminary. Father, what do you think? So, thank you for answering partly the question. We have friends outside the parish, and it's a worthy project we are doing. I'm sure if you sell the idea to our friends, and those who are privileged enough to have some money in your account, you can just write a check and give us. You don't have to give the envelope to anyone. God will surely bless you. What we want is the money for the project. The budget, we wanted to be a bit silent on it because it's a bit frightening, but we are going to do the project in phases. It will cost us about 5.2 million Ghana for the project, so it's quite, but let's not be deterred. We are going to do it in phases, and by the grace of God, we'll complete the project.
Well, just to add, the project for me is a priority for St. Victor's. As we said, it's a multi-purpose building that can be used for various events and activities. And that will also be available for public use to rent for businesses, rental services, where some payment can be made towards that. And of course, once it's able to generate, as Bonnie indicated earlier, once it's able to be a source of fund generation for the school or St. Victor's, then it could also support the renovation events or exercises of the parish. And of course, we have also a number of societies that are pledged to support the structure come up. So for me, it's a priority project for St. Victor's, 75 years, and we don't have such a structure. It's a worthy cause. And also to say that the envelopes, please, they are not equal. Like what it says, if any priest thinks that the levy he can pay it, this envelope is to support you to raise the fund. But any priest thinks that I can pay off this levy on my own, you don't need to pay the envelope. However, you could still also pay the envelope even if you can pay, and still raise the funds to support, as we have indicated, it's a minimum levy, minimum contribution. It is our project. Let us own it. And we can only own it by being the people to start with something. Of course, anywhere you go to raise funds, you must show your commitment. What is your commitment to the project or whatever you want to do? God can ask for money elsewhere. So this is what we want to show. The levy is all to show as our commitment towards the project. Then we can go out to the parishes, to wherever we want to solicit for funding. Thank you.
Just to add to the issue of priority, I mean, we know we have a number of places to innovate and all of that. I want to put it on record that we appeal to the Knights and Ladies of St. John International, and they've agreed to renovate Redeemer House for us. So that's where part of our money is going. But the Knights and Ladies of St. John have agreed, and knowing very shortly they will start work. And if that is done, Redeemer House will be back in order again. We are here, and I know they are making contributions towards that. But we deliberated a lot on the real need for this multi-purpose hall, particularly that, you know, the numbers are increasing once again, occasions are increasing, during exam is a challenge, and so many other reasons that we considered as a team, local organizing committee, before we zoomed on the multi-purpose. The mediator of it is here, it's just sitting in front of us here. So it's a capacity of about between 1,000 to 1,500 seater. 1,200. 1,500 capacity with offices and little lecture rooms attached and all of that. So that's why we call it multi-purpose and all of that. Thank you.
So the mobile number, those who have the program, just send the back of it. 055 914 9124. 055 914 9124. There's a merchant ID to there. 888001. If you want to contribute to the account, it's St. Victor's Major Seminary, Ababu branch. The account number is long, so you can see out for it or check the back of the program. I want to conclude by saying that most importantly, like I began, if our priests are involved, these projects are not failed. Once they want something to happen, we respect them that much. We revere them. The Catholic Church has no much. And so when you come to the parish, and my parish priest calls me at 11 o'clock, and I'm not outside Tamale, I'll come. That is how much we respect our priest. So once you speak about it, and it thinks this project to be a reality, we want to ask our seminary that when you are going out, we ask you to sell some of the items for us. Please take it and walk up. Sell it. When you don't convert, must focus and sell and bring us the money. Very important. We are work. We want to raise this money. St. Victor's deserves this project because we have come with it, and with your support, we'll do it. Thank you very much.
I think they deserve a better round of applause. Thank you very much, fundraising committee. At this moment, Mr. Chairman, we will go with the groups. This group is meant for the formators and the alumni to go and discuss and bring back some feedback, some 5-point discussion. So it will be very simple if we make it row by row. Surely we have mixed up. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 groups. And so we'll take it this way. This row, the very one by the wall, is part of group 1. So this is part of 1. Then the next seat is group 2, group 3, group 4, group 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Those who are on this lane, this is your group. Those who are that chair or seat, that is your group. Then group 1. So maybe a little fella, the one in black, please. Pardon? Anthony will be part Then the rest behind will be part of group 2. I think here we have a number of seminarians. So group 3, those alumni and priests or committed here will be part of group 3. Then the next will be part of group 4, and last seat will be part of group 5. I think it's very simple. Group 1, group 2, group 3, group 4, group 5, and the division continues that way. So I'll kindly read the questions out. So group 1, you'll be discussing what would you like to add to the objectives of Alumni Association that will benefit the Victor's Seminary. What would you like to add to the objectives of the Alumni Association that will benefit the Victor's Seminary, especially outside what the speaker mentioned. So maybe I'll bring the questions around when finally we decide to meet. What would you like to add to the objectives of the Alumni Association that will benefit the Victor's Seminary? Group 2. How can we involve the alumni who are not priests in the activities of the association? How can we involve the alumni who are not priests in the activities of the association? That is for group 2. How can we involve the alumni who are not priests in the activities of the association? Then for group 3, what are other challenges to the priesthood in the parishes which are missing from those mentioned in the presentation? What are other challenges to the priests in the parishes which are missing from those mentioned in the presentation? Then group 4, what are the strengths and weaknesses of the seminary formation? Group 4, the strengths and weaknesses of the seminary formation. Then group 5, what issues or causes should be stressed in the formation of future priests that will make them better evangelizers? What issues or causes should be stressed in the formation of the future priests that will make them better evangelizers? I will bring these questions again for discussion. So these are the venues for the group discussion. Group 1 will go to Theology 3 class, I believe we all know that. Then group 2 will be in the library. Group 3 will remain in the assembly hall. Group 4, T4 class, and group 5, Theology 2 class. Group 1, T3 class, group 2, library. Group 3, assembly hall. Group 4, T4 class. Group 5, Theology 2 class. So before we go into the groups, I just want to acknowledge the presence of some invited guests in our midst. Well, before we go to that, just know that some seminarians will join us so that they can help us with the secretarial job. We are supposed to bring some feedback, so we will allow some seminarians to join in the group discussion so that they will help take the records for us. So we have in our midst St. Teresa Society. Please, if you're here, may we kindly see you. St. Teresa Society. I think you're outside there, beside the family. We have religious men and women, and we can notably see the SMI, the Sisters of Divine Love and Mercy, and the Franciscan Missionaries of Mary. Then we have Catholic Men Society, Catholic Men Society. They are also outside. Then we have Knights and Ladies of Marshall. Knights and Ladies of Marshall. We also have Knights and Ladies Auxiliary of St. John International. And we also have Catholic Women Association. Catholic Women Association. So some announcements. Those who want to settle their registration fee should go to the table. There's a small table to my right, beside the faculty.
some of our seminaries can assist you to do your registration. This is very important for us, so maybe can take note of it. And those who want to use the washrooms, behind the assembly hall, there is a small urinal place there. Then the block just to my right, the block you see back and there, we have some washrooms there for toilet facilities. So thank you very much, and I think on this note, we will kindly, the chairman, go into the group discussion. Thank you. Please, so we have just 60 minutes for the discussion, and moving and coming is part of 50. So please, let's kindly take note. So currently it's 11:30 according to my watch. So we come back at 11:45.
Rise and sing your praise to the Lord of hosts, for the King of St. Victor's. Hail, rise and sing your praise for the gift of St. Victor's. Hail, rise and sing your praise to the Lord of hosts, for the gift of St. Victor's. Hail, rise and sing your praise for the gift of St. Victor's. With faith and hope, all charity, with dedication of our heart, we support the seed of life. We shall teach the word of faith and make apostles in royal peace. We shall plant the seed of life. We shall teach the word of faith and make apostles in royal people. Corrigatem in corrigatem, there's fruit in charity, and by the help of you triumph God, with shall build broken couple God. Corrigatem in corrigatem, there's fruit in charity, and by the help of you triumph God, we shall build your kingdom, O Lord. Amen. Rise and sing your praise to the Lord of hosts, for the King of St. Victor's. Hail, rise and sing your praise for the gift of St. Victor's. Hail, rise and sing your praise to the Lord of hosts, for the gift of St. Victor's. Hail, rise and sing your praise for the gift of St. Victor's. With faith and hope, all charity, with dedication of our heart, we support the seed of life. We shall teach the word of faith and make apostles in royal peace. We shall plant the seed of life. We shall teach the word of faith and make apostles in royal peace. Corrigatem in corrigatem. and by the help of you triumph God, which up your broken cup, O Lord, Gravitatem in caritatem, there's root in charity, and by the help of you triumph God, we shall build your kingdom, O Lord. Amen. Lord, rise and sing your praise to the Lord of hosts, for the King of Saint victors. Hail, rise and sing your praise for the gift of Saint victors. Hail, rise and sing your praise to the Lord of hosts, for the gift of Saint victors. Hail, rise and sing your praise for the gift of Saint victors. With faith and hope, all charity, with dedication of our heart, we support the seed of life. We shall teach the word of faith and make apostles in royal faith. We shall plant the seed of life. We shall teach the word of faith and make apostles in royal faith. Caritatem in caritatem, there's root in charity, and by the help of you triumph God, which have your broken cup, O Lord. Caritatem in caritatem, there's root in charity, and by the help of you triumph God, we shall build your kingdom, O Lord. Amen. Lord, rise and sing your praise to the Lord of hosts, for the King of Saint victors. Hail, rise and sing your praise for the gift of Saint victors. Hail, rise and sing your praise to the Lord of hosts, for the gift of Saint Victor's. Hail, rise and sing your praise for the gift of Saint Victor. With faith and hope, all charity, with dedication of our heart, we support the seed of life. We shall teach the word of faith and make apostles in royal. We shall plant the seed of life. We shall teach the word of faith and make our world souls in royal people. Veritatem in Veritatem, the fruit in charity, and by the help of you triumph God, with subdue broken cup, O Lord. Veritatem in Veritatem, the fruit in charity, and by the help of you triumph God, we shall build your kingdom, O Lord. Amen. Lord, rise and sing your praise to the Lord of hosts, for the gift of Saint Victor's. Hail, rise and sing your praise for the gift of Saint Victor's. Hail, rise and sing your praise to the Lord of hosts, for the gift of Saint Victor's. Hail, rise and sing your praise for the gift of Saint Victor. With faith and hope, all charity, with dedication of our heart, we support the seed of life. We shall teach the word of faith and make apostles in royal people. We shall plant the seed of life. We shall teach the word of faith and make our souls in royal people. Veritatem in Veritatem, the fruit in charity, and by the help of you triumph God, with subdue broken cup, O in charity, first root in charity. By the help of your God, we shall build your kingdom, O Lord. Amen. By the help of your God. Lord, rise and sing your praise to the Lord of hosts, for the King of St. Victor's. Hail, rise and sing your praise for the gift of St. Victor's. Hail, rise and sing your praise to the Lord of hosts, for the gift of St. Victor's. Hail, rise and sing your praise for the gift of St. Victor's. With faith and hope, all charity, with dedication of our heart, we support the seed of life. We shall teach the word of faith and make apostles in royal faith. We shall plant the seed of life. We shall teach the word of faith and make our souls in royal people. Veritatem in Veritatem, the fruit in charity, and by the help of you triumph God, with a broken of God. Veritatem in Veritatem, the fruit in charity, and by the help of you triumph God, we shall build your kingdom, O Lord. Amen. Lord, rise and sing your praise to the Lord of hosts, for the King of Saint victors. Hail, rise and sing your praise, for the gift of Saint victors. Hail, rise and sing your praise to the Lord of hosts, for the gift of Saint victors. Hail, rise and sing your gift of Saint victors. With faith and hope, all charity, with dedication of our hearts, we support the seed of life. We shall teach the word of faith and make our souls in royal peace. We shall plant the seed of life. We shall teach the word of faith and make our souls in royal people. Veritatem in Veritatem, the fruit in charity, and by the help of you triumph God, with a broken cup, O Lord. Veritatem in Veritatem, the fruit in charity, and by the help of you triumph God, we shall build your kingdom, O Lord. Amen. Lord, rise and sing your praise to the Lord of hosts, for the King of Saint victors. Hail, rise and sing your praise, for the gift of Saint victors. Hail, rise and sing your praise to the Lord of hosts, for the gift of Saint Victor's. Hail, rise and sing your praise for the gift of Saint Victor. With faith and hope, all charity, with dedication of our hearts, we support the seed of life. We shall teach the word of faith and make our souls in royal peace. We shall plant the seed of life. We shall teach the word of faith and make our souls in royal Veritatem in Veritatem, the fruit in charity, and by the help of you triumph God, with subdue broken cup, O Lord. Veritatem in Veritatem, the fruit in charity, by the help of you, triumph God, we shall build your kingdom, O Lord, rise and sing your praise to the Lord of hosts, for the gift of Saint Victor's. Hail, rise and sing your praise for the gift of Saint Victor's. Hail, rise and sing your praise to the Lord of hosts, for the gift of Saint Victor's. Hail, rise and sing your praise for the gift of Saint Victor. With faith and hope, all charity, with dedication of our hearts, we support the seed of life. We shall teach the word of faith and make our souls in royal peace. We shall plant the seed of life. We shall teach the word of faith and make our souls in royal peace. Veritatem in Veritatem, the fruit in charity, and by the help of you triumph God, with subdue broken cup, O Lord. Veritatem in Veritatem, the fruit in charity, by the help of you, triumph God, we shall build your kingdom, O Lord. Amen. Lord, rise and sing your praise to the Lord of hosts, for the King of Saint Victor's. Hail, rise and sing your praise for the gift of Saint Victor's. Hail, rise and sing your praise to the Lord of hosts, for the gift of Saint Victor's. Hail, rise and sing your praise for the gift of Saint Victor. With faith and hope, all charity, with dedication of our hearts, we support the seed of life. We shall teach the word of faith and make apostles in royal faith. We shall plant the seed of life. We shall teach the word of faith and make apostles in royal faith. Veritatem in Veritatem, there's fruit in charity, and by the help of you triumph God, we shall build your kingdom, O Lord. Veritatem in Veritatem, there's fruit in charity, and by the help of you triumph God, we shall build your kingdom, O Lord. Amen. Lord, rise and sing your praise to the Lord of hosts, for the gift of Saint Victor's. Hail, rise and sing your praise for the gift of Saint Victor's. Hail, rise and sing your praise to the Lord of hosts, for the gift of Saint Victor's. Hail, rise and sing your praise for the gift of Saint Victor. With faith and hope, all charity, with dedication of our heart, we support the seed of life. We shall teach the word of faith and make apostles in royal faith. We shall plant the seed of life. We shall teach the word of faith and make our world souls in royal people. Veritatem in Veritatem, there's fruit in charity, and by the help of you triumph God, we shall build your kingdom, O Lord. Veritatem in Veritatem, there's fruit in charity, and by the help of you triumph God, we shall build your kingdom, O Lord. Amen.
May we come back to our feet please this time. Please this time, let's come back to our feet. Please, let's get back to our feet this time. Please, let's get back to our feet. May we take up to the Lord. Please let us be seated. Please, may we have the secretaries in front. The secretaries, please, kindly come to the front seat. The secretaries to the various groups, please come forward. The secretaries to the various groups, please come forward. The secretaries to the various groups, we are just about to start. Please, may you come forward. The secretaries to the various groups, please come forward. Give a bell. Please, the secretaries, kindly come forward. Please, the secretaries, kindly come forward. We will start if you take up your seat. Secretaries, please come forward. Please, let us take up our seats. Let's sit down, please. Let us kindly come up to the hall. Please, may we come up to the hall.
Of St. Victor's Major Seminary is organizing a 2-day program dubbed Alumni Homecoming 2021 as part of the Jubilee celebrations. This program is organized to give opportunity to the alumni of the seminary to interact and also reflect on the role of the alumni in the formation program of the seminary. Theme: 75 years of priestly formation, the perspective and role of the alumni. Guest speaker: Most Reverend Gabriel Edo Kumoji, SVD, Bishop of Keta Akachi Diocese, and an input by Professor Felix Kofi Abagali, the Pro Vice Chancellor of the University for Development Studies, TAMALE. Date: Wednesday 8th September to Friday 10th September 2021. Venue: St. Victor's Main Campus, Malshau. Be part of this historic event. Come one, come all.
Thank you very much, Mr. Secretary, MC, for the opportunity. I stand on behalf of Group 2, and we look at how can we involve the alumni who are not present in the activities of the Alumni Association. So as part of our introduction, and taking from the input that we have just listened to from our guest speaker, we are defining this category of people to involve all those ex-seminarians who could not finish, and those who are working, and those who are not working, all those brother candidates who pass through here either by offering philosophy and going somewhere to finish their theological studies are part of this category. So without wasting my time, we identify at least 6 points by which we could involve such people to the Alumni Association. First and foremost, we talk about education, that we need to get these people informed about the existence of the Alumni Association in the seminary, and then letting them know that they are part and parcel of it, and the need for them to support the growth and development of the seminary. Second, we talked of the need to establish an alumni office, which will serve as an effective way of getting people informed about the immediate need of the seminary and the need to support. Third, we talk about the need of producing souvenirs and others to be sold out to all, not only the great alumni, as a way of getting them an identity to the institution. The fourth point we identified has to do with the need to encourage the formation of classes or year group platforms as a way of identifying themselves as smaller groups, which will help them to be more effective in mobilizing or organizing themselves to support the cause than putting ourselves all together as a larger alumni group. Then the fifth point we identify has to do with the need to form ex-seminarian association, where those who are well disposed could speak to the others who perhaps may be bitter to come to terms with what they are experiencing or have experienced. Then last but not least, the seminary could also institute a day for honoring those who could not complete and let them know that they are not forgotten or left out. This could be part of the St. Victor's Day celebration, where they are being honored with some awards or titles, so to speak. So in conclusion, these are some of the ways by which we think that this category of people could be involved in the larger alumni, St. Victor's alumni group. That if these points are being considered and other points that could be of help to them. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for good too. Thank you very much. So we want to invite questions before if Alumni wants to respond. We want to invite questions from among us. How can we involve the alumni who are not free in the activities of the association? Questions and contributions.
Mine is not a question as such. It is to ask a group that is of mission. For years, we trained lay people under the program called the Lay Theologians. That is a big group. So in all the presentations, that group has not featured. And they're actually people who were trained here in the various dioceses and parishes, and they could actually become a leader. So to add the they call a lay theologian. Yes, that is a wonderful group.
Thank you very much. Please, any other contribution or question? Okay. Let us know if you want to react to this. Thank you. So thank you very much. May you kindly speak for this, please.
Thank you very much.
So we kindly give each group 2 minutes to present. We'll just give us
the salient point, please. 2 minutes. Then 2 minutes for possible questions and contributions. So we call on group 3. What are the other challenges the priests and the parishes which are missing from those mentioned in the presentation? Group 3. Please remember 2 minutes.
So as said, I will just read out our points. The question has already been given. That's the challenges that were not mentioned in the presentation. The first one, the level of dedication of some of the priests is not up to the standard of those, to the standard of parishioners they are ministering to. In short, there is a need for an ongoing formation. 2, the challenge of accounting to the people. This has to do with the difficulty in giving a proper financial accounting. 3, the unavailability of ICT in the parishes to facilitate pastoral work and to enhance security. That is, they could install CCTV cameras in the various parishes. 4, poor capacity to use ICT to facilitate pastoral work. 5, poor documentation of parish records. 6, the lack of requisite human resource personnel to support priests in some parishes, especially in the rural areas. Then our last point is the challenge of governance from the diocesan to the parish level. Thank you.
Thank you for being brief. We are grateful. Thank you very much. Please, start for him. Let's give him a round of applause. Please, any reaction? Okay, so no reaction. Sorry.
Thank you. I'm not sure I heard that the challenge or the problem is that priests are not working. If it is, that is the meaning. Because I believe that after 9 years, that's Pentecostal. And if we look at it negatively, I'm not against the continuous formation. But I believe that after 9 years, every person, if it's serious, should have had enough knowledge.
Thank you very much. At 9 years, I think the formation has taken place. Thank you. Yes, Father.
I think that is where the challenge is. After the 9 years, when it comes to be a good priest, the good pastor, as to be a manager of the response for the church is where the challenge is. That's why they mentioned governance. Managing the responsibility, managing the person in your parish. After 9 years, you are approximately 9.
So taking care of the temporal goods of the church is a challenge for many priests. I think that's what they want to say. Taking care of the temporal goods is a challenge. It is not factored into the formation of the priest. I think that's the point. Any other reaction? Thank you very much. So we go to the next group, that is group 4, are the strengths and weaknesses of formation. Strengths and weaknesses of the seminary formation.
Thank you very much. I think looking at the strengths and weaknesses, I think the 2 minutes won't be enough, but I will summarize. With our strengths, we talk about areas of staffing. We think that the matching, when you match the committed with the civilians, it is well encouraging. So that's a good point there. And second, we talk about the quality of academic formation. We said they still maintain the standard, so it's a good point there. Then good formation. We talked about there is a growth in good formation. Then the last one was apostolate, as acknowledged by the speaker. We think the two is on point. Then 5, we talked about the living and eating of seminary
available and present in the formation of Seminary. And we talk about inadequate food drive. Parishes and institutions should contribute food in running of the Seminary. And lastly, we talk about water, which is a major problem, especially during the dry season. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Please, any reaction to this? Any reaction? What are the strengths and weaknesses of the seminary formation? No opinion.
I think unemployment is a contributing factor that some come to the seminary because they can't find employment.
See, this is what?
Think about the management. It could be, I'm thinking, yeah, it could be added to this point. Because the management or under the temporal group, the training is not there. And when they say that they know that it's supposed to take care of that, manage them and then give report.
So it's report writing, taking care of the temporal group, and maybe human resource management as well, as part of the point of group 3. I think that's what I will say. Any other reaction? Thank you. So,
maybe the relationship in some institutions, those on the ground are given opportunity to bring feedback, and those feedback are being incorporated in the information. Because of that lack of connection between the transfer ground definition, most times the seminary is not up to the time of the time.
Jacob is saying that we should strengthen alumni group so that there will always be a feedback between what is on the ground and what is happening in the seminary. Thank you.
I'm sure that Luke meant the poor remuneration of staff or formation staff.
I think that's a diplomatic one. I think it's addressed to just opposite where it is. It's saying remuneration of staff. Okay. Then, what causes, group 5, please, you can climb up. What causes or issues to be expressed in the formation of the future priests that will make them better organized group 5?
Thank you very much. Our group discussed on what is happening on the field and compared it to what is being taught in school here. We had our first point to be language and culture learning. It was understood that seminary has 3 weeks course for 23 seminaries as they prepare for pastorals. But the committee came out that it's too short, need to be intensified so that they can prepare themselves for language and culture learning. Second point is on accounting. It is expected that accounting talks in the seminary should be intensified very well, since most newly ordained priests come to parishes and find it difficult when it comes to rendering correct accounts of the parish. It was also discussed that there is a course called parish administration that is taught in Theory 4. It needs to be intensified and the accounting can be incorporated when it comes to that. Another aspect discussed was pastoral care and also ICT. Under the information communication technology, we realized that there's a similar course taught in philosophy, but now everything has come to a point of ICT. We are using ICT gadgets, but the usage is not up to standard. Therefore, it needs to be intensified when it comes to teaching of ICT, so that we know what tools we are using and for what purpose. That can even help when it comes to evangelization. The group also stress on teamwork
and said, if no course is even introduced, the offices allocated to seminarians should be monitored in such a way that the teamwork will be fostered instead of doing hide and seek to have its way out. But you should make sure the true teamwork is being manifested when it comes to offices that are allocated to seminarians. Project management and planning should also be stressed and intensified in the seminary to help parishes that are given to new priests who may not go there to meet any well-structured program in their newly assigned parish, so that he can have that knowledge to start a new thing there. It is also discussed finally that we should intensify teaching on the homiletics, since some priests, when it comes to homily, are struggling with that. In conclusion, to set aside the need for the above point, bishops and superiors should also have at least a course for newly ordained priests before they are assigned or appointed into an office. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. Give them a round of applause. Thank you very much. So, please, any contributions or reactions? Okay, then may we invite group one, the last group.
Thank you very much. These are the suggestions of Group 1 to the questions asked. What would you like to add to the objectives of the Alumni Association that will benefit St. Victor's Major Seminary? There are 9 points and I take them distinctively. 1. The alumni should give concrete moral support to the formators as an encouragement to them. 2. The alumni should have regular interaction with the seminary community. 3. The alumni should concretely pray for the formators, seminarians, and members of the alumni. 4. The alumni should not give wrong judgment of the formators, but know what is on the ground before offering an opinion. 5. The alumni should institute a St. Victor's Day celebration in their various parishes to create awareness and raise funds for the seminary. 6. There should be a platform to regularly update members on the activities and events of the seminary. 7. The executive should work towards a close relation or bonding with the religious body, example SVDs and other dioceses outside the province who benefit from the seminary. 8. The Alumni Association should come out with a strategic development plan for the seminary and not wait for an occasion like the celebration before a strategic plan. And finally, the various year groups could take up various development projects in the seminary at a certain point and not neglecting the main objectives of the mother alumni group. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Please let's give some round of applause. Any contribution? Any reaction to this? All right.
The point where he said the alumni should come out with a strategic plan for the seminary, I don't agree with that. Because it will amount to doing the work of those who are appointed to do the work in the seminary. They can collaborate, and as our speaker pointed out, there should be that close link between the alumni and the formators. And through that, if, for example, there's a governance council, and which there is, then they could propose to have a representative there, and they can also
I don't agree with that. Thank you very much. You want to that? Okay, is there another reaction? Yes.
Thank you very much. The point is that each year group can come together to maybe do some development project. Looking at our numbers, sometimes, I don't know of this time, but our time the numbers were very small. So coming as a group like that to do something on your think it will be difficult to come out with something substantial. Like if it is a general group that are contributing towards it, that one will be something beneficial, not the individual classes. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I guess that was the last one.
Well, I don't want to say I don't support your point because I happen to be about a one-man class at the moment. So it will be difficult for a one-man class to do much. But it doesn't, the idea. Two people can do a great thing. And many people can do almost nothing, depending on the aggregation. So it is the desire that a group would like to leave a mark on the institution that nurtured them. So you can have one man and he can do quite a bit. And he may not need to take a project beyond his capacity. He takes a project that he can manage, even as an individual. And as the idea came across, that if he can mobilize, either from his parish or institution, people to support him in carrying out a project in favor of the institution, I think that can be encouraged. So it may not just be a question of a one-man show, but the ability to mobilize and eventually to make an impact based on the fact that you pass through this institution and this institution passed through you. So that's how I would look at it. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that. Now I think that is the last one. So I want to now leave the floor for our bishops, if any of us have a reaction to the entire morning session of our program. The what has fallen on me.
Okay. I think listening to the questions that have been handled, my interest has fallen on the question 4 and the question 5, which talks about the strengths and weaknesses of the formation and also the courses that need to be implemented as a matter of what are the strengths and what are the courses that need to be added. I think this has been very well tackled, and I'm happy that some of the issues that have been identified are very real, pertaining to what is good and what is currently happening, and then also referring to what needs to be done in terms of weaknesses, and then adding what are the courses that need to be done. I want to draw your attention to the document that has been issued, that has been formulated for the formation, as a formation program in the country, the Ratio Fundamentalis. I believe every seminarian here and the staff has been given a copy of this document. And it's a document that has been worked on by a committee of committees and together with the Bishops' Conference, taking into consideration what we need to do as a country, as a nation, so that our formation can have quality. And most of the things that have been mentioned here, especially the qualities I mean, the good things that are happening already, I mean, it's very heartwarming to know that this is something that people are aware and are appreciating. But the other side of it is the challenges that have been mentioned. And I think if we take this document very seriously, I think we can address some of the weaknesses that have been raised. That to do with formation, relationship of staff and students, commitment of staff, and especially even a selection of people to be able to do the work. The difference between teachers and formators. All these have been, they are very clearly flagged in this document. And so the point I'm just simply trying to make is that we have the tools. We have what it takes to be able to address these things that have been raised, other in terms of the weaknesses and the challenges and also the strengths, as well as what still needs to be done. So my appeal is that let us take this document very, very seriously. The document has been presented at the national level, and it has now been given to the various seminaries. And we had said that if there were any need of any seminary for us to come and for us, the team to break down further this document, I think the team is ready and willing to be able to do that. So I'm using this occasion simply to address our staff to ensure that if there is a need for us to study and try to implement this document further to help to address some of these challenges that have been faced. Each seminary has been given a copy. Let us also use it as an opportunity to read it and to be able to understand, but at the same time to be able to have something that can be done also from the point of view of the staff to break this down further. If we did that, I believe that some of the issues that have been raised in this workshop will be fully addressed. Thank you.
Thank you, my lord. So may I ask the
I would like, first of all, to say a word of thank you to our brother Bishop Kumoji for a wonderful presentation. And to link up with what Bishop Conquest has said, when you listen to all the talk and also the discussion, the issues coming up from the discussions, you realize, as Bishop has said, we have the tools. But what I think we need to really look at, and this one has to be personal, the personal commitment to the formation during the years of formation and after the seminary, after ordination, the commitment. Sometimes you see a clear disconnect. And I remember for the few years I was here in the seminary, I used to tell my seminarians that the formation is like building a house. They give you different materials to build the house. You can all get the same materials, but you can build a very strong, firm, quality house and continue to maintain it. You can get the same, but you build a very big house. And that is what makes the difference. The personal commitment, taking advantage of all the inputs that are given. And I want to tell you, by the way, nobody can change anybody and form anybody unless you decide that you want to be something else. So
very much, my Lord. Yes, any other response? Okay, please then on this note, I'll kindly want to invite one of the alumni to come and give us the vote of thanks. So please, Father Pascal, for them, if you are here, may you kindly come forward. I know when you had my name, everybody was wondering. He just grabbed me here. He said, "Oh, this man, just come and do this for me." So I am here. Mr. Chairman, my Lord Bishops, the Secretary General of the Bishops Conference, the rectors, that is both past and present, my senior brother priests, seminarians, religious brothers and sisters. I think this was a great opportunity, a blessing on my side to do this. Because this is the first ever alumni gathering. Can you imagine? And I'm here. So thank God. So I want to say a very big thank you, that is to God. When this process started, I believe it was out of our faith that today we are all seated here. It is the faith that we have in our Lord that we are all seated here. This morning session has been lovely, and we give thanks to God. We want to say thank you also to the speaker for the day, for this morning session, Most Reverend Gabriel Moji, SBD. Thank you very much for doing justice to the topic today. We thank God for giving me the grace to be able to do this. I'm grateful to my Lord Bishops who have made it today. It's an encouragement to be the young ones. 1 year in the ministry is a great encouragement. Looking around, seeing senior priests, senior brother priests, those I have not seen before, and today it's a great encouragement to be those who are coming up. We say, God bless you, but God continue to strengthen you. I want to thank the chairman and the co-chair. I can see Mr. Collegiate here, so Mr. Ernest Collegiate, and then we are very grateful for making time to support or to come and share this activity to this end. So, on this note, with all protocol observed, I say a very big thank you to you all. And please, it's a great achievement that we have made today. Just turn to a brother or a sister by you and say congratulations for making this day a success. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Father. Thank you. We are so grateful for your vote of thanks. Now, before we end the program, I would kindly want to please that the alumni or the program you see, we are supposed to return at 4:00 p.m. But with this thought-provoking speech and all the input we made, we want to discuss something more into the alumni formation. So we kindly request that we change the 4:00 to 3:45, please. So at 3:45, you will kindly come back here. Please take note, 3:45 and not 4:00. Father Rudolph, may you kindly come and lead us in the Angelus. And I'll kindly invite my Lord, Bishop Argenta, to bless afterwards.
said unto Mary, Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with you. Blessed are you amongst women, and blessed is the fruit of your womb, Jesus. Holy Mary, Mother of God, pray for us sinners, now and at the hour of our death. Behold the handmaid of the Lord. Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with you. Blessed are you amongst women, and blessed is the fruit of your womb, Jesus. Holy Mary, Mother of God, pray for us sinners, now and at the hour of our death. And the Word was made flesh. And dwelt among us. Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with you. Blessed are you amongst women, and blessed is the fruit of your womb, Jesus. Holy Mary, Mother of God, pray for us sinners, now and at the hour of our death. Pray for us, O Holy Mother of God, that we may be made worthy of the promises of Christ. Let us pray together. For most we seek you, O Lord, your grace into our hearts, that we, through whom the incarnation of Christ, your Son, was made known by the message of an angel, may by his passion and cross, be brought to the glory of his resurrection, through the same Christ our Lord. Most Sacred Heart of Jesus, Immaculate Heart of Mary, pray for us. Saint Joseph, pray for us. Saint Peter Claver, pray for us. Saint Victor, pray for us. All you saints and martyrs of God, pray for us.
The Bishop to join me in the passing blessing. God be with you. In the blessings of Almighty God, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit come down upon you, in the name of you now and forever.
Amen. Please, so we can, the alumni, the invited guests, and all who were invited here, please, we can go to the staff dining hall, and our seminarians surely will find their place for lunch. Please, if you are yet to register, kindly go to the table close to the tent for registration. Please kindly do that for us. It is very dear to us. Kindly go to the table close to the tent for registration if you are yet to do so. Thank you so much.
Friends, we shall kindly take some pictures immediately in front of the assembly hall. Please, may we take some photographs in front of the hall. We are taking some pictures in front of the hall right now, please. Some photographs in front of the hall.